Right. Hello, everyone. Very good afternoon to all. So as you're aware, SGTech has been appointed by IMDA to run the vendor briefing sessions from May 2019. SME Go Digital program is a national program administered by IMDA together with sector agencies to support digitalization for SMEs across 23 sectors as specified in the industry transformation map. So first, the SME landscape. Today, SMEs constitute 99% of local enterprise, which makes up about 2/3 of the national workforce and contribute close to 50% of the GDP. What's the definition of an SME? Based on Enterprise Singapore's definition, group companies' annual sales turnover should not be more than 100 million. All companies' group employment size should not be more than 200 workers. The major concerns encountered by SMEs in their respective businesses are rising costs, especially for business in sectors which require rental of physical space, high turnover of staff, and that staff might not have sufficient knowledge or are not tech savvy enough to handle complex software. The whole gist of SME Go Digital program is to make going digital as simple as these 3 steps. First of all, SMEs can assess their digital readiness of their business from the CTO as a service platform, a one-stop web application, and refer to the industry digital plan for the different sectors. This is a step-by-step guide that helps SMEs to assess and adopt suitable digital solutions depending on stages or readiness of their business. Support from the consultancy services at Digital Tech Hub has retired and it has been succeeded by CTO as a service. Next, IMDA will guide SMEs to take the first steps with useful industry knowledge. Then you as a vendor who would know what are the solutions needed and what are the new sectors to be added in. As such, your SME customers are able to adopt specially pre-approved digital solutions for the respective sectors, and best part of it all, it will come with the grant support. Regarding point 3, where can your SME customers get help? They can use the CTO as a service to request for digital advisory and project management service, or approach the SME centers if they need or they require business advice. Also, just to add, Start Digital, which was launched in Jan 2019, is meant to help guide new startups on the type of digital solutions they should take on. It is in joint collaboration with IMDA, Enterprise Singapore, the telcos, and the banks. So these 3 steps are the end-to-end process, illustrates the comprehensive resources that SMEs can reference to start their digitalization journey or take the next step to deepening their digital adoptions. Currently, we have a total of 20 IDPs for 21 ITM sectors launched to date, with the latest food sector IDP refreshed in November 2022. The Industry Digital Plan, IDP for short, is a step-by-step guide for SMEs. Within the IDP, solutions are articulated across 3 different stages of business growth. The categorization of solutions for respective stages are based on global trending and validation studies with the sector agencies and the industry to map out the type of solutions required by the business. This is so that SMEs are able to spot the solution which they need based on their stage of business growth. Building on the foundation established by the current IDPs, the new model will include refreshed solution suite offered under the Digital Solution Roadmap, integrated and advanced solutions to improve digital connectivity and deepen SME digital capabilities, a roadmap on cybersecurity and data protection measures, expansion and updating the digital training roadmap to be aligned with the refreshed solutions under the digital roadmap and include change management. This is an example of a digital roadmap developed for the food service sector, which was refreshed in November 2022. It has taken into consideration trends observed in the sector, such as the shift in consumer behavior towards digital ordering, e-commerce, and food delivery, as well as assist F&B companies overcome challenges. Okay, so after the SME know what type of solutions they require, they can choose from a list of pre-approved solutions from the respective sector that they can adopt hassle-free depending on their areas of need. SME customers are then able to enjoy funding support. Pre-approved solutions are pre-scoped with software subscription, hardware, professional services, and training required for the automation of their operations. SMEs can apply for pre-approved solution through Business Grant Portal and start implementation with selected solution provider after the sector agency has approved the application. Currently, IMDA and sector lead agencies have identified a demand from 20 sectors or subsectors, and IMDA is looking for digital solutions to meet the requirements of these sectors on the supply side. These solutions need to be proven and meet the criteria defined in the vendor self-assessment checklist. If you have a solution that corresponds to the criteria listed in the checklist, we welcome your submissions. Besides the sector requirements, there are also digital capabilities requirements that apply to all sectors. These are digital capabilities like cybersecurity, data analytics, PDP, and IoT to ensure completeness and robustness of the proposed solutions. This is an overview of the vendor self-assessment checklist. There are 3 areas that IMDA is looking for in your submission. First, a proven track record. A positive net equity in your company's latest financial statement. 5, satisfied customers on contractual agreement that have utilized the solution for an extended period of more than 6 months and have achieved at least 15 to 20% productivity growth after using the solution. And lastly, your company must have the necessary resources to handle the volume of implementation requests from the industry. Next, your desired features of your solution and if your solution has the ability and features to meet the sector requirements. For example, a vendor providing HRMS solution needs to adhere to IRS tax policies such as the auto inclusion scheme. Accounting solutions, on the other hand, need to be listed on the IRS accounting software register prior to pre-approval. If your solution generates, sends, and receives digital invoice, then it needs to be PEPL ready, which is the e-invoicing standard for solutions which create and update invoices and manage sales transactions to facilitate a seamless and faster process through adherence of a single digital format. And lastly, your solution needs to be cloud-based, software as a service model is preferred. Please make sure your solution meets all the mandatory requirements and features prior to your submissions. IMDA will also check if your solution can meet the industry standards and best practices, such as does your company have a trust mark for personal data protection? Examples of solutions which collect personal unique identifiers are HRMS, workforce management systems, and visitor management system. And for solutions that collect personal data and information such as NRIC, does the solution conduct security vulnerability assessment to ensure any security loopholes are being addressed? IMDA has introduced 2 initiatives to help organizations level up their data protection standards. The first initiative is the Data Protection Essential Program, which is designed specifically to help SMEs acquire a basic level of data protection and security practice to protect their customers' personal data and recover quickly in the event of a data breach. SME who have successfully implemented the DPE will be listed on the IMDA website and awarded the DPE logo as a recognition of their efforts to put in place basic data protection standard. In the event of a data breach, the PDPC may consider a SME's implementation of the DPE as a mitigating factor. The cost of professional service to implement basic data protection standard starts from around 2005 for one-time setup. A fixed grant amount of 1,006 from IMDA is available for eligible SMEs that successfully implement the DPE one-stop professional service. The second initiative is our Data Protection Trust Mark certification, which is a voluntary enterprise-wide certification for organizations to demonstrate accountable data protection practices. The DPTM will help business increase their competitive advantage and build trust with their customers and stakeholders in the digital economy. If you are a vendor that is providing services to the government, you should go for the DPTM, as an increasing number of government tenders are asking for their vendors to be DPTM certified. Last but not least, in the event of a data breach, DPTM certified companies can request from the PDPC an undertaking in lieu of any investigation. Eligible organizations may consider applying to the Enterprise Singapore to seek support for some of the costs for DPTM certification and consultancy services. You may scan the QR codes or click on the links in the chat to find out more. So let me go through the steps of the pre-approval process. First, step 1, always attend the vendor briefing to understand the requirements. After you attended, then you will proceed to the checklist stage. A gentle reminder that you must submit the completed checklist within 3 months of your company's attendance at the vendor briefing. Step 2 to step 3 is the checklist stage, where you need to tell us your solution is what IMDA is looking for. Do a pre-assessment of your proposed solution using the vendor self-assessment checklist to check that it fulfills the criteria that your respective sector is looking for. And if your solution meets all the mandatory requirements, you may submit the completed checklist with all the necessary supporting documents. After IMDA receives your submission, they will validate and review your submission before inviting you for a tech demo session together with the sector lead, where you can demonstrate your solutions to them. Just to highlight, lead time for steps 2 to step 3 depend on the completeness of your solution, and your solution will be reviewed and processed serially upon completed submission. Step 4, if your solution is shortlisted, you'll be requested to submit an application form via the pre-approval system. At this stage, IMDA will then review and at the same time provide guidance on your proposed price packages, so as to ensure that the packages meet the scope of the requirements with clarity, and SME customers can adopt the solution as hassle-free as possible. As you may be aware that the Productivity Solution Grant supports companies keen on adopting IT solutions and equipment to enhance business processes. Hence, the pricing of the package must cater to micro SMEs and SMEs for easy adoption, and the solution should be scoped according to the purchase pattern of your customers. Do also note that the pricing has to be before GST. At step 5, you will know if your application is approved or rejected. Upon approval, IMDA will issue the letter of appointment for a period of 12 months. For step 6 and step 7, vendor will need to accept the letter of appointment via the pre-approval system, and thereafter your solution will be listed on the respective government websites, and vendors may promote to their market and sell their solutions with grant support. Note that the lead time for step 4 to step 7 is about 3 months. The current appointment contracts is valid for 1 year, with the option to extend the contract for another year, subjected to IMDA and sector lead approval. To be eligible for +1 year contract extension, vendors are required to have a minimum of 5 approved PSG applications, which is 5 adoptions recorded within the first 11 months of the existing contract period, and vendors should not have any outstanding complaint at the point of extension. Note that this criteria is subjected to change and may vary across sectors. Lastly, I would like to highlight that the maximum contract period is 2 years, and upon contract expiry, vendors are required to submit the solution for approval again from step 1 to step 7. Note that no reminders will be provided prior to contract expiry, and vendors are advised to submit their solution for pre-approval 3 to 6 months prior to contract expiry. After the vendor briefing session, vendor may proceed to the checklist submission stage, and below are the list of required documents needed for your submissions. Firstly, the vendor self-assessment checklist. This can be downloaded from the IMDA website. There are currently 19 sector-specific checklists and 1 generic checklist with various solution categories target for sector-specific and the generic broad-based SME market needs. Remember to always use the latest checklist and complete all the checklist questions for your submission. Next, the solution brochure. These generally can include your solution write-up, brochure you use to promote and market your product and solution to your customers. And lastly, screenshot or video clips of your solution to demonstrate how your solution meets the requirements as stated in the checklist. A comprehensive set of these documents will allow IMDA to better understand your solution and whether they are suitable for the solution category you're applying for. Third, 5 satisfied SME surveys and invoices. This is to demonstrate to IMDA that your solution caters to the local SME market, and generally you as a vendor have received positive comments about your product, implementation, and support. Fourth, vulnerability assessment report. The purpose of this report is to help assure that your solution is free from security vulnerabilities, and vendor will need to engage a CREST-approved provider to conduct the assessment. Note that the VA report is required for a specific solution category only. Fifth, past 3 years' financial statements. Note that if management account is given, they should contain minimally the balance sheet, income sheet, and cash flow statements. And lastly, Invoice Now account. IMDA require that all pre-approved vendors to be registered on the Invoice Now platform to be eligible for this program. You can check out the pre-approval website for details on the registration. Things to note for your self-assessment checklist submission. There are 7 tabs in the most of the checklist, which include instruction, main, generic, or sector-specific, cybersecurity, data analytics, and IoT tab. Vendor is advised to read the instructions tab for your checklist submission. Answer all the questions in the main tab, and answer the relevant questions on the selected solution category in the generic or sector-specific tab. Note that you are only required to select one solution category which your solution belongs to. Lastly, answer all the questions in the remaining tabs. You may select no or not applicable if some of these requirements are not applicable to your solution. In the checklist, there will be mandatory and preferred requirements. Please note that all mandatory requirements must be met. Answer yes and provide comment that describe how your solution meet this requirement. And this should be supported by screenshot or documents such as ISO 27001 certification if applicable. If you have no in any of the mandatory requirements, your solution will be rejected by IMDA as fulfilling the mandatory requirements are baseline for pre-approval. For preferred requirements, answers can be indicated as yes, no, or NA. However, vendors are always encouraged to meet the criteria for preferred requirements or consider this for your future enhancements, because some of these requirements may turn mandatory in the near future. It is also good to note that solutions that fulfill the preferred requirements will be awarded with a higher assessment point. Certain solution categories come with attachments in the checklist as shown. This attachment, also known as Annex 3 document, allow you to put forth your proposed pricing packages for review during the checklist submission. For solutions that fall under these categories, namely e-commerce, digital marketing, retail and personal care solution, and digital ordering, have to submit Annex 3 document with your proposed packages as part of your checklist submission. Things to note for satisfactory customer survey in your submission. All satisfactory customer surveys need to be completed and signed by an authorized company representative with the company stamp. In the survey, please also ensure that name and version of solution indicated by the customer in the survey form matches your proposed solution for the pre-approval under the name of solution in the checklist. Example, if the solution used by your customer is Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016 and your proposed solution is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, this satisfactory customer's reference will not be accepted. Under the productivity indicator of the survey form, kindly advise your customer to provide a numeric indicator to demonstrate that they are able to achieve at least 15 to 20% productivity gain after using the solution. Such productivity gains can come in the form of time saving, manpower saving, increase in revenue. Note that this field should be filled in by your SME customers. Survey form without proper indication of the productivity gain will be returned for clarifications. E-commerce and digital marketing solution category, please advise or assist your customers in providing the corporate or e-commerce website URL in the satisfactory survey form. For your satisfactory customer invoices, it should contain the software subscription or license of your proposed solution where applicable. It should also include the hardware, professional services, and training components of the entire solution implementation. In general, IMDA will need all invoices for the capex of the solution implementation. Next, during the application submission, the vendor will be prompted to select the mode of purchase. Please choose the correct mode of purchase for your solution. Here is IMDA definition for mode of payment. For direct purchase, it refers to a one-time payment of solution, and thereafter the customer or company will fully own the equipment or IT solution. For example, a perpetual software license or hardware equipment such as tablets or appliances. For both example, customer is not required to pay a monthly or yearly subscription for a leasing fee or continuous usage of the equipment or solution. For leasing or subscription, it refers to payment which the customer must make to maintain the rights to use the IT solution for a period of the lease or subscription. For example, SaaS solutions where customers would need to make monthly or yearly payment to extend the subscription to continue using the software after the subscription period. Vendors are reminded to select the correct mode of payment during your application submission. As we walk through the pre-approval process and highlight the important things to take note in your checklist and application submission, I will move on to provide information on the SME Go Digital pre-approval system. Please note that only submissions through the pre-approval systems will be accepted. To access the system, vendor needs to ensure that the company's authorized representative is assigned to the e-service before logging into the system using individual SingPass. For further detail on how to gain access to the pre-approval system and as well as how to navigate through the system for your checklist and application submission, vendor can download the user guide from IMDA website or scan the QR code to download a copy of the guide now as a reference. I'll pause here to allow everyone to scan the QR code. Note that if you were to encounter any technical issues while using the system, please take screenshots and provide explanation of the issues and email to the address stated on the system login page. From 11 April 2021, you will be required to log in to Government Digital Service for businesses using your SingPass instead of CorpPass. For more information, visit go.gov.sg/corporate-login. For SingPass and the e-service assigned to your authorized rep, the authorized rep needs to create a new profile. Now, both the checklist and application must be submitted through the system. The system will not accept your checklist if you have not attended the vendor briefing within the last 3 months. If you cannot finish the submission in one go, you can save the item as a draft to resume later. Mandatory fields are denoted with a red asterisk and they must be keyed in before you can make the submission. Supporting documents submitted must stick to the IMDA file naming convention. For example, please name your financial statement as highlighted in red. To upload, click on the Add Financial Statement, then a pop-up window will appear and you will upload the file via this pop-up window. We would like to remind all vendors to stay compliant with the terms and conditions of the IMDA pre-approval program. As part of the PSG requirements, vendors are responsible for conveying the following pointers. Firstly, vendors should not offer any incentives such as rebates, cashbacks, gifts in kind, loans, or credit facilities. Secondly, vendors should not be directly involved in PSG application and claim submission. And thirdly, vendors must ensure that their service delivery team keeps to customer commitments and delivers in accordance with Annex 3. Fourthly, vendors are reminded to comply with the advertising and marketing guidelines. Lastly, vendors should issue invoices and quotations that match with Annex 3. Please refer to the attached infographics for more details. As per SGD pre-approval T&C, Clause 10 of the letter appointment, IMDA may, in its absolute discretion, terminate or suspend an appointment if it is satisfied that the pre-approved vendor fails to maintain or causes IMDA to suspect that the pre-approved vendor failed to maintain a standard that complies with the program requirements. We hope that the above information is clearly committed to your sales team, project team, current and future customer base. It is important for vendors to comply with the terms and conditions of the IMDA pre-approval system to ensure that they maintain a standard that complies with the program requirements. We would like to remind all vendors not to breach these terms and conditions. Impersonation is a serious offense that can result in termination or suspension of appointment. Impersonation can take many forms, including pretending to be an IMDA officer, a government official, or a representative of another company. This can also include providing BGP application details to government officers such as their BGP application ID, email address, phone number, and other personal information with the intention of deceiving the officer into believing that you are the BGP applicant. Vendors should always be truthful and transparent when communicating with any parties and should not engage in any activity that could be perceived as impersonation. Vendors should also not falsely represent themselves as employees of an SME by adding themselves to the SME CorpPass account to handle BGP matters. This is a serious offence that can result in termination or suspension of appointment. It is important to note again that failure to comply with the IMDA pre-approved terms and conditions can result in legal action and damage to the vendor's reputation. Therefore, we urge all vendors to take this warning seriously and to ensure that they always act with integrity and honestly in their business dealings. Other than the program rules and policies and regulations mentioned earlier, these are common pitfalls or problems that are cited from vendors. In the area of code of conduct, vendors should always respond to your customer queries in a timely manner. Failure to respond to customers on time may lead to customers writing in to IMDA and sector lead agency for help and complaint. Vendors should also sell their solutions in a fair manner. Vendors should not discredit competitors' company solutions to win deals. In the area of advertising, vendors should always publish factual information about the PSG program. Vendors should be responsible to keep themselves updated on the changes to the PSG program to reflect accurate data on their website, EDM marketing collaterals. Vendors should not provide misleading advertising with non-factual information about the PSG program. For example, vendors should not be combining different government grant schemes and inflating the percentage grant amount. Vendors should also ensure that the use of IMDA logo must adhere to the IMDA brand guide. If in doubt, please email IMDA to clarify before using the logo or launching any marketing campaigns or programs. Lastly, for retrospective PSG applicants, vendors and SME can commence work once PSG application is put forth. However, SME must be aware that if BGP application fails, there is an agreed recourse. Work and collection of payment cannot commence before PSG application is submitted into the portal. Please note that the terms and conditions and program guide are provided together with the letter of appointment, so not reading the document or not being aware of these clauses are not good reasons for breaching the clauses in the LOA. The important clause and common pitfalls was highlighted in this briefing, and with that, I would like to emphasize again that vendors who fail to comply with the TNC may result in IMDA issuing you a warning letter or suspension or termination. Next, I'll do a brief introduction to CTO as a service. So IMDA has developed a one-stop application for SMEs to have quick access to various digitalization resources. SMEs can self-assess their digital readiness and receive a list of recommended solutions based on their business profiles. They also can search and compare the functions of pre-approved digital solutions and contact vendors via this platform. In addition, CTO as a service connects SMEs to a shared pool of consultants for digital consultancy and project management services. IMDA have appointed Accenture and Stone Forest to provide such service. SME can engage the digital consultants for guidance to better understand their business needs and priorities. Based on an in-depth needs analysis, the consultant will tailor digital solutions and training roadmaps for the company, which also reference the industry digital plans available for various sectors. The digital consultants will help SMEs manage the digital project implementation, which will take into consideration the impact on key stakeholders such as employees, customers, suppliers, etc. Eligible SMEs can enjoy free digital consultancy and project management services. You might ask, what are the benefits of this platform to approved solution vendors and SMEs? Well, for potential partners like yourself, upon approval by IMDA, your solutions will be more easily discovered and searched by SMEs end user on the platform. With platform enhancements currently underway, SME end users will soon be able to find ratings and read reviews of the solutions available. This will instill confidence and trust in your solution. To SME end users, CTO as a service is a one-stop platform to address most of their digitalization needs, helping them make more informed decisions faster. Here is a recap of the key features of CTO as a service. Please scan the QR code to access the platform and check out the various features after this session. Next, I'll hand over the time to my colleague Pauline, who will share more about Invoice Now. Pauline, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. IMDA implemented the nationwide e-invoicing network in early 2019. It's not, however, a purely Singapore-based network. It's been around for more than 12 years, adopted across more than 30 countries and transacting over 100 million transactions annually. It's probably the most mature cross-border network of its kind. The pandemic has taught us how important it is to have such a fundamental business function, such as invoicing, to be digitalized. And so this initiative aims to streamline your business operations, increase accuracy, which in turn reduces unnecessary rework, improve cash flow, and of course, contributing to the nation achieving its goal as a green economy. In January 2020, AGD, which is the central office for all invoices to government ministries and agencies, was inducted into the network, and that gives all 22,000 government suppliers a preferred way to send invoices. So some of the ways to help businesses improve efficiency, reduce cost, facilitate cross-border business transactions, enjoy faster payment, reduce usage of paper invoices. In January 2020, AGD is also on the network, and this gives government suppliers a way to send e-invoices via the network. Invoice Now was announced in September 2020 during the Future Economy Conference exhibition. Today, if you think about paying a person or business quickly and digitally, the first thing that comes to mind is Pay Now. Pay Now saw a tremendous growth as the go-to method of sending money, and similarly, there has been a large uptake in businesses using e-invoicing. Thus, e-invoicing has been rebranded to Invoice Now to further emphasize the relationship between e-payment and e-invoicing. IMDA is delighted to partner with DBS, OCBC, UOB, along with the Association of Banks in Singapore, ABS, to develop solutions which provide a flow to these basic functions. This process will allow an invoice that is sent through Invoice Now to be paid through the popular e-payment channel, Pay Now. By linking these solutions together, the process is now 3 simple steps. When a vendor and customer is on board the network, all the vendor needs to do is to send an invoice via Invoice Now to the UEN of their customer. Upon receiving their invoice, the customer verifies it, and if they choose to, they send a Pay Now payment to the vendor. The vendor is notified of the payment, and the process is complete. While the journey above may be more effective of an SME journey, we recognize that different companies will have different needs. To address these different needs, there are over 80 IMDA pre-approved service providers who offer Invoice Now capabilities. This means whether you are a large or small company, there is an Invoice Now service provider for you. Over time, we look forward to more services provider connecting their Invoice Now solutions to e-payment channels like Pay Now, and extending these benefits across all businesses. The infographic is a showcase of how Invoice Now works when an e-invoice is sent from the seller to the buyer, step 1 to 2, and how the invoice can be quickly processed by the buyer and paid by various e-payment methods such as Pay Now to the seller, which is step 3. So let's watch the promotional video of the benefits of Invoice Now.
Great! Business is going well, work is getting delivered, and you're already planning to expand. But you wouldn't get the cash flow you need without invoicing. So you spend hours manually preparing paper invoices only for your client to lose it or have it rejected because of mistakes, which would cause delayed payments that will slow your business down. But with Invoice Now, you can now get paid faster. With it, you can send e-invoices directly to your clients via the nationwide e-invoicing network with existing solutions. Just activate Invoice Now on your PEPL-ready solution. Now, create your invoice. Select your client's PEPL ID. Key in your invoice details, and you're good to go. Paperless, effortless, and seamless. Your invoice will be able to reach all businesses on the entire network. And with Invoice Now's standardized format, your clients will be able to process invoices and payments quicker too. That means you can enjoy smoother invoicing, faster payments, and a great way to save the environment. Join the network and grow your business today. Invoice Now. Get paid faster.
This initiative operates on the International PayPal network. What you see here is an ecosystem where the businesses are on the outermost circle and are connected by business systems, which are the PayPal-ready solutions. PayPal-ready solution providers are connected by access point providers. An access point is essentially the gateway to the PayPal network. We currently have more than 30 access points, and they each sign an agreement with IMDA, the PayPal authority. For a solution to be PayPal ready, they can select one of the 30 access point providers and work with them to get your solution ready. Once businesses are on the network, they are able to send and receive e-invoices to each other, and that sums up what PayPal is and how Invoice Now operates. To summarize the benefits of Invoice Now from the video and throughout the presentation, it is a streamlined process to reduce manual inputs with system-to-system transmission. It allows for faster payments and less use of printing PDF invoices, creating a greener business. Here are the criteria to become a PayPal-ready solution provider. The points are on the slide. PayPal-ready solution providers are platforms such as accounting or enterprise resource planning systems, which provides Invoice Now features. For more information, you can go to the link here or write into e-invoice at imda.gov.sg. And for additional information on Invoice Now, you can go to the PayPal Guide website. As we grow the Invoice Now network, we are expanding the supported document types available in the network. From our earlier surveys and study, we have found that invoice response and e-ordering are two documents that businesses would like to have to further support their business processes. Hence, we have implemented these new documents as preferred features. Invoice response is a document from buyer to supplier, providing a status update of the supplier's invoice on the buyer's accounting system. This enables suppliers to receive the status of their invoices, such as message acknowledgement, accepted, and rejection, so that the need for follow-ups will be greatly reduced. E-ordering comes in two different documents, being order only and ordering. Order only is a one-way document from buyer to supplier with details the order. Ordering is where on top of the order only document, the supplier is able to respond with the order status, being whether is it accepted or rejected amongst other things. Solution providers can choose to implement order only or ordering or both. Businesses can choose to receive orders even if they may not be generating orders themselves. Solution providers without order functionality may choose to simply ingest and display incoming orders and potentially flip it to an invoice for a more advantageous two-way match at the buyer's side. Some benefits of Invoice Now includes its documents allows businesses to manage their cash flows and, most importantly, allows for operational efficiency. Also, with Invoice Now, Reduced manpower efforts and data entry errors can be achieved since it is digitalized. Next, we would like to share on the Better Data Driven Business Program, BDDB program in short, which was launched by IMDA and PDPC in September 2022, and the revised data analytics requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist. The use of big data analytics is on the rise, and it will play a central role in business operations for years to come. The capability of businesses to leverage the data sets and information in their companies will be a determining factor in the competitiveness both today and in the future. In this digital age, data analytics and visualization are crucial elements of the business decision-making process. It helps the stakeholders to recognize patterns in the data and devise profitable business strategies. Data analytics is the process of examining data sets to find trends, draw conclusions about the information they contain. Data visualization makes the analysis of the complex data easier to the user through graphical representation of the data in the form of charts, graphs, and maps. Ideally, there should be a dashboard to provide at-a-glance view of key performance indicators, KPIs, relevant to a particular objective or business process. Based on an article on Impact Networking website, data-driven organizations are now 23 times more likely to acquire customers, 6 times as likely to retain customers, and 19 times more likely to be profitable. 73% of businesses said they have received measurable value from implementing big data initiatives. The average ROI for enterprises using business intelligence and analytics is 1,300%. More businesses are using data analytics to bring about sustained benefits and growth for their business. And here are some examples. While many of us are aware of the benefits of data analytics, why are some businesses not doing so? Here are some reasons we found out through the recent Infocom usage survey conducted by IMDA. They are poor awareness or understanding of the technology, lack of manpower and/or competency in using technologies, no budget allocated, inadequate information technology infrastructure, no data or lack of sufficient data for proper data analysis. And these key challenges faced by SMEs are what ICM vendors can value add and support SMEs in overcoming them through your solution. Taking into consideration the challenges faced by businesses, the BDDB program was launched to help them use data to derive near-term business value and be confident about using data. The BDDB program aims to support 2 types of SMEs, those that are starting to learn to use data to generate insights, and those that seek to apply and share data for more complex purposes. Through BDDB, SMEs can learn how to collect necessary data safely, combine data across systems with adequate protections, and share data externally with partners and suppliers safely in line with the requirements of the PDPA obligations. We hope to help more businesses get started on data analytics so they can remain competitive in this digital economy and to ease the adoption process for them. To allow SMEs to be more confident in using their data and translate them into actionable insights, IMDA worked with PDPC to incorporate good data protection practices in the free business intelligence BI tool, such that only data necessary for the insights are used, and the data is generally pseudo-named, such as using customer ID instead of names. The BI tool was developed to address SMEs' concerns such as no available budget, resources, and lack of awareness or understanding of data analytics. It aims to help SMEs to improve data quality, convert their existing business data into visual dashboards to monitor business indicators at a glance, and improve business decision-making using data instead of gut feel. Focus group discussions were conducted prior to development to determine the common business objectives of SMEs, including what are the key information to be captured on each dashboard, as well as the data items are commonly collected and can be readily exported from solutions. As such, we have identified 5 most common business objectives that can bring near-term returns: grow product sales, acquire new customers, and retain and engage your customers to increase your top line, lower inventory costs, and improving HR planning to improve your bottom line. To use the BI tool, SMEs will need to download the templates from IMDA website and Microsoft Power BI in their laptop, export required business data from their solution, and import them into the predefined templates. Check for data completeness and consistency, and interpret the results using Power BI and take actions based on the practical business intervention. Here are the snapshots of the 5 available dashboards as part of the BI tool. Due to time constraint, I will use Business Objective 1 on grow product sales as an example on how you should compete the data analytics requirements section of the vendor self-assessment checklist. On screen is the updated data analytics requirements in the vendor self-assessment checklist, and I will step through the criteria 1.3 to 1.5 in greater details in the next few slides. First and foremost, you will need to download the BI tool from IMDA BDDB program website. I will stay on this screen for the next minute, and you may wish to take out your mobile phone and scan the QR code on screen to sign up via the online form. The BI tool package will be emailed to you at the end of this monthly briefing. To meet criteria 1.3, please complete the BI2 data list attached in column E and ensure that all mandatory data items are collected and made mandatory for data entry in your solution. Your clients will not be able to generate the key indicators on the BI2 dashboard should there be any missing mandatory data items. Optional data items are those that may apply to some SMEs, but not all. For example, not all SMEs have physical and online stores. To meet criteria 1.4, your solution must be able to export the mandatory data items with or without the optional data items for all the specified column headers in either file, CSV, or Excel, XLSX format. In other words, the exported data file must follow the naming convention for each header or data item and data format. As part of the validation process, you are required to provide an exported data file with the sample data in CSV or Excel format and a screenshot of the corresponding dashboard. If you are keen to incorporate the relevant dashboards in your solution, do indicate your interest in criteria 1.5. IMDA will be in touch with you to explore how we can support you on this. If your solution is able to meet the requirements stated in criteria 1.3 and 1.4, please complete and submit the data analytics requirements section of the vendor self-assessment checklist and the documents stated in 1.3 and 1.4 to IMDA via the website provided prior to submitting your application to SME Go Digital pre-approval team. IMDA will take about 2 weeks to review and validate your submission. Please note that incomplete submission with missing documents will be rejected. Pre-approved solutions that are aligned to the requirements of the Business Intelligence BI tool will be listed on BDDB program webpage and promoted at our various engagements with SMEs. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Dutch Ng, who is part of our SMEs Go Digital Advisory Committee in SGTech. He will elaborate on how SGTech can help you and the industry on this program. Dutch, over to you.
Thank you, Pauline. Can you hear me? Hi, Pauline. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
That's great, yeah. Hi, good afternoon. Happy New Year. It's 2024. And great to see every one of you well today. My name is Dutch Ng, part of the SGTech SME Go Digital Committee members. To our old friends and existing members of SGTech, it's nice to have you again. To our new friends that aren't familiar with what SGTech does, let's give you a brief introduction. SGTech is a premium trade association for tech industry in Singapore. We have over 1,000 corporate members, ranging from innovative startups, vibrant small and medium-sized enterprises, to top MNCs who are articulating any technology industrial concern to relevant authorities and stakeholders. SGTech also strives to create an ecosystem that take part trends and develop sustainable initiatives to strengthen the communities and help the ICT industry to grow. We mission to catalyze a thriving ecosystem that empowers Singapore as a global tech powerhouse. SGTech comes with two-pronged thrust. We position Singapore as a pivotal global digital and data hub, emphasizing and foundation of trust. And second, we are dedicated to take part in collective action, contributing to solutions that address both Singaporeans and global sustainability challenges. By supporting these two key strategic initiatives, we also have all our business endeavors in our commitment to cultivating and leveraging talent in our technology sector. Briefly, I would like to share with you the organization structure of SGTech. We have board of governance and council members, are not in this slide, which overseeing the alignment of all chapters and committees. At the top, we have the steering committees encompassed of sustainabilities and tech talent. Next, we have various chapters and committees, a total of 8 chapters, 2 committees for your interest to join, and 5 advisory committees. I will elaborate further on this in my next few slides. As to coordinate the needs of the subsector within the ITC space, we have formed industry chapters and committees to support the strategic and emerging sector. We have classified our chapters into tech verticals and non-tech horizontal. Under the tech verticals, we have AI, high-performance computing chapter, increasing adoption and creating awareness of data ethics, governance of AI, and opportunities. Cloud and data chapter is to help businesses in understanding the journey of embarking our cloud, driving adoption, leveraging the technology to build more robust business model and open up new opportunity. And cybersecurity chapter is to promote the awareness and adoption of cybersecurity in Singapore and to boost up talent pipeline for the viability of Singapore cybersecurity industry. And for the non-tech horizontal, we have digital transformation chapters that aim to accelerate innovation as to drive the success of digital transformation of Singapore businesses. Singapore Enterprise Chapter to promote and build an active, healthy ecosystem, especially for local tech SME, which is vital for Singapore digital transformation. We're creating favorable conditions to allow tech SME to flourish and venture overseas by leveraging on the strength of the consortium. As you know, Smart Nation Chapter, we engaged to start Smart Nation Digital Government Office and relevant stakeholders, taking part with key agencies in the built environment sector to bridge local solution provider to overseas market, exporting local ideas and solution, and in turn spur innovation in their solution. We also have these two newly formed chapters from the community in this last mid-year, our Digital Trust and Data Center. And Data Center chapter is to promote the greater efficiencies within Singapore data center industry as an essential element that eco-friendly digital infrastructure needed to sustain the continual growth of this nation. And Digital Trust chapter as to foster as also the novel digital trust industry, serving as a catalyst for enhanced collaboration between companies and nations, which is the aim of the position the Singapore tech sector as a forefront leader in the digital trust technology. We also have platform companies and also these education technology committees also gaining traction as to form these two committees to cater to the needs. And companies that join SGTech as a member can choose which chapter they prefer to be involved. Each chapter have planned activities, initiative to engage their chapter members and the industry. SGTech, not just only chapters, we also spin off committees that cater for the needs. Other committees like Data Protection Advisory Committees, Digital and Trust Center of Excellence Committees, Next Generation of Network Committees, Government Procurement Advisory Committees, SME Go Digital Advisory Committee, which is you're right now attending. And we do plan together with all the chapters and committees for networking, also sharing about solution. As one point I want to highlight is about the tech partner, the platform for business interaction and solution collaboration that I would like to elaborate more in my next few slides. This is really good for you. And definitely with new chapters and committee will be launched in response to the technology industry continue the growth, and we can see the need. If you'd like to know more about SGTech, please write to us or our SGTech secretary at membership@sgtech.org.sg. I repeat, membership@sgtech.org.sg. So, being as part of the member, what are the key benefits as part of SGTech? You have a seat in our committee to voice actively or taking part in advocacy effort. Also, a gateway or platform to engage a two-way exchange with other leaders, fostering a collaboration environment to shape the next significant advancement in digital transformation. Also, as a springboard to create lasting and impactful results for your business, both domestically and internationally. The committee as a forefront of spearheading the adoption of technology. As mentioned earlier, we have more than 1,000 over companies members in SGTech today, which range from global LMC, large local enterprises, and even small SME as well, and providing a full range of tech spectrum to influence, providing insight and domain sharing for the needs. Please, as I mentioned, I would like to share more of this initiative as we receive a lot of feedback from vendors and they appreciate this assistance in establishing this business and technology partnership that could help to expand their offering and customer base. So with tech partner, here are the things that we can achieve. First, technology partnership. This refers to identifying a partner whose solution can match or complement yours to cater for the current project. Next, we also can match reseller or distribution partnership. You can also find a partner who can distribute your solution, or you can find new solution that could expand your portfolio offering. Another possible outcome is a strategic partnership, meaning that forming a strategic alliance in new product development or for market expansion. As this list is not exhaustive, and you may also request for other form of partnership that can add value to your business. Do talk to us. You can find out more. We also actively post our information on medias and other newly launched websites as well. Do follow us in social media and get more latest update, events, news, research information, white paper, and the trend as well. I will stay here for a few seconds for your capture. Okay, here come last slide. We do accept membership application for both Singapore-based companies and also overseas company. Do talk to us. You can scan this QR code for if you'd like to join us as a member. And of course, I would like to thank our partner, IMDA, SGTech, Singapore Digital, for supporting this webinar. I hope that you can find this information helpful for your organization and also do more business. I wish that you have a fruitful webinar ahead. Thank you. Manoj, over back to you.
Thank you very much, Dutch. So now we've come to the FAQ segment of the briefing. Before we open the floor to questions, let me go through some of the common FAQs that we have received. First question, my solution is a proven solution used by many MNCs, government agencies, and or SMEs from other countries for many years, but I do not have any local SME customers. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is no. You will need to provide customer reference from your local SME customers. These 5 satisfied local SMEs must not be subsidiaries or affiliated to one another. As part of the evaluation, we need to assess if your solution can fully meet the needs of local SMEs and that your company has the necessary track record in serving local SMEs. Next question, why are 5 satisfied customers required? 5 satisfied customers are required to show that the solution has good track record in the industry and is able to deliver the intended outcome. Preferably, the customer needs to be live users instead of trial or beta or pilot users who have used the solution for more than 6 months. Question 3. My solution has been very established overseas but is yet to launch locally. Would my overseas client be qualified as part of a satisfied customers? The answer is no. The 5 satisfied customer submission have to demonstrate their solutions are implemented locally. Next question, how long must the satisfied SMEs be using my solutions before they are qualified to fill up the customer satisfactory survey? The 5 satisfied local SMEs must have used your solution for at least 6 months and not more than 18 months, and still using the solution as at the date of your submission. Question 5, my solution is a software as a service base that anyone in the world can sign up and use, including SMEs in Singapore. I have more than 5 satisfied SME customers. My company can provide 24/7/365 customer support from outside Singapore. Can I submit my solution for pre-approval? The answer is no. Currently, we are unable to pre-approve solution vendors that have no presence in Singapore. You must either set up a local office or partner a local reseller to offer your solution. Your local office or partner may submit the solution for pre-approval if it meets all the mandatory requirements stated in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Next question, my solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories in the vendor self-assessment checklist. Which checklist should I submit? Or can I submit more than one solution for pre-approval? If your solution meets the requirements of multiple solution categories, you may choose to submit multiple vendor self-assessment checklists for your solutions to be pre-approved under the respective solution categories. Each submitted checklist must come with its own set of supporting documents as specified in the checklist, such as 5 satisfied customer surveys and invoices. Question 7. My solution is widely utilized by SMEs in many industries, but is not listed in any of the solution categories in the checklist. Is my solution eligible to be pre-approved under SME Go Digital program? IMDA works with respective sector agencies to curate the type of digital solutions which benefit the SMEs within the industries. As long as your solution fulfills the criteria stated within the checklist, we welcome your checklist submission with all the supporting documents. Next question, is hardware bundled with packages applicable for grant? In general, commodity hardware such as desktop computer, laptop, or tablets that is widely available for purchase in the market is not supportable by the grant. In some solution categories where specialized hardware needed for the solution to properly function may be supportable, such as vehicle tracking device and fleet management solution, video camera and surveillance and analytics, and retail analytics solutions, sensors and bin monitoring and management solution. Question 9, I'm a reseller of a proven solution and it's already pre-approved under PSG. Can I still participate in the program? Answer is yes. We are looking at track records of both solution and service supports rendered by the digital solution provider. Principal solution may be an appointed vendor with the same solution. You can still participate in SME Go Digital program as long as all the onboarding requirements are fulfilled. Question 10, my company doesn't require audited financial statement. Would management accounts be sufficient for submission? The answer is yes. Please provide the endorsed management accounts with company stamp and ACRA director signature. Next question, my company is incorporated for less than 1 year. Can I submit the financial statement of the parent company instead? Answer is yes, as long as your company is fully owned by the parent company. Next question, what's the definition of positive net equity? The net equity is total assets minus total liabilities in latest audited financial statement or endorsed management account have to demonstrate a positive value. Okay, that's all for the FAQs. If you want to refer to the FAQs again, they are available on the SGD website, www.sgd.org.sg. The recording of today's briefing will also be made on the website, and we have recently updated the MCQ form for registering your attendance when you watch the recorded vendor briefing. So before your submission, please ensure all these points are addressed. Ensure that you're using the latest version of the completers checklist. Ensure all tabs within the vendor self-assessment checklist are filled up with supporting notes to ascertain the features of your proposed solution. Ensure 3 years financial statements are submitted. A positive net equity in the latest statement is mandatory. If your company is incorporated less than 3 years, you can submit all audited financial statements to date to complete your submission. Ensure only one solution category of the sector-specific tab is still filled up. For reapplication, previously submitted files satisfied customers cannot be reused. Lastly, ensure that your company details are filled up correctly in SME Go Digital pre-approval system. By failing to fulfill the above points without any valid reason will attribute to the delay in processing of your submission, so please make sure you check those. To recap, this is the onboarding requirement to get your pre-approved solution approved by IMDA. With effect from now, all new contracts will be approved to a 1+1 year contract appointment. After you get your approval, your solution will be listed on the Business Grant portal for your SME customers to apply for grant support. You can ask your SME customer to find out more about their eligibility by contacting the number stated or email directly for advice.